It's hard to believe, but there's only one more week of Zelda. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Friday. Just finished up stream 54 of Tears of the Kingdom. We've been working through viewer suggestions. We started that last week. We did it all tonight, and we're going to be doing a little bit of viewer suggestions next week as well. Like the first half of next week's stream will be viewer suggestions, like wrapping that up, and then the second half will be finishing the game. And it's a weird feeling to be here. I don't think a lot of people can relate to the feeling of playing a game for this long. I mean, some people can. Like, I know folks play service games or MMOs or whatever, and if you're playing the same game for a long period of time, it may feel familiar. But even then, folks aren't playing them quite like we are, because we are putting in such a small amount of time every week, whereas most people would put, more time than we are into a game. And it's strange. It really stretches out that feeling of, the single player experience. And of course, Zelda is long. Tears of the Kingdom is the longest Zelda game. I had to think about that a second. I'm like, what would be longer? And the answer is nothing. The other game that would be long is Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom is longer. There's more to do. So, we have played the longest Zelda game, and we're not doing absolutely everything there is to do in the game. And I know to some extent that there will be a portion of the audience that'll be disappointed in that. I know we have some like really, really diehard Tears of the Kingdom fans in chat that are watching, and there's folks that want us to do, the entirety of the depths and get all of the light roots, or to find all of the outfits, and like that. We're not doing that. And I think that it's best for us if we don't do that also. Whenever I went into this project, I approached it exactly like Breath of the Wild. I knew I wanted to do all the shrines, and then I wanted to beat the game. And we've stuck to that, and everything else has just been up in the air, whether or not we do it. And I've had a great time. But also, Tears of the Kingdom is definitely one of those games that, like, you could play forever. There's so many things I'm still finding out. And the viewer suggestions are teaching me things. But one of the things I said tonight was, when we finished Breath of the Wild, those videos that they put out that's like, things you didn't know about Breath of the Wild, part 500. I watched a bunch of those, and I did learn a bunch of stuff I didn't know. I thought Breath of the Wild is a fascinating game. And I know that as a result, Tears of the Kingdom is probably also a super fascinating game. And I'm very much looking forward to watching some of that stuff after the fact. But, the way that the viewer suggestions worked is that they were submitted on Twitch. So over the course of a few weeks, they were submitted on Twitch, and then those got pared down by the patrons in the Discord. So they voted on, like, the things that they thought was most interesting. So we had a smaller group doing that. And then we took that and the things that had the highest votes and were most interesting. Chaz made that into a list and tried to kind of like plot a course for us to work through some of the things based on what was most popular. And, we're doing that. We finished quite a few quests tonight, and I continue to just be really impressed. I've said it before, but I mean, Tears of the Kingdom is a masterpiece. It's extremely good. I know that there are little tiny things that are hang-ups of mine, and then also of other people's, but like on the whole, I think it would be very disingenuous to call it much less than that, because it's just very good. I mean, games are subjective, and I know it's not going to click with everybody, but it's a very technically impressive game, and it's fun. I think it's genuinely fun too. How everything works together is just really fascinating. But it's also one of the things that means that you could play it forever, because you'd still be discovering stuff. Yeah. Anyway, I'm excited to wrap it up. Like I said, me and Mal have enjoyed it, but we also have other games that we want to play. We know what we're playing next. I'll probably reveal that soon. I might keep it a secret until the night we go live with the next game, but I'll probably reveal it soon. And I am looking forward to playing other games. I love video games. This is a part where I would probably point to them if I didn't have the green screen down. And I like playing them. And, games are different lengths. Zelda's very, very long, and it's fun because you become very immersed in a world like that when you've played it for such a long time. But then inversely, the problem is that you're playing less games because you're putting so much time into one. It's been fun, though. It's been a lot of fun. It does make me wonder what Nintendo will do in the future, because we have kind of like different versions of Zelda games at this point. I know that the next one coming out, Echoes of Wisdom, is quite different, but also it's that Link's Awakening style. I suspect that they'll continue to make games like that. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are in a category of their own, and it's very hard to imagine them doing another game like that. They might, but when I try to think of that, I'm like, where do you go from here? Like, Breath of the Wild was very fun, very impressive, and then they really build upon that in a way that I loved in Tears of the Kingdom. But trying to think about where it would go from here, I'm like, I don't know, man. I think at this point, if I played another Zelda game, I would prefer to play the typical Zelda formula. I would prefer to play something like Twilight Princess. I had a conversation with Mal the other day about Skyward Sword. We don't have any plans to stream that, but we have talked about the fact that that's a Zelda game that we missed. Neither of us have ever played it, so maybe at some point in our spare time we would play that. I don't know. We're probably not going to touch any Zelda games for a while, admittedly, because we played this one for so long. But yeah, I don't know. Just curious to see what they'll do with everything in the future. Okay. Yeah, that's it. I'm sure I'll have a few things to talk about next week, but maybe not even a lot, because I feel like I've talked a bunch about Zelda over the last year. But it will be interesting to finally have everything finished up. I am curious how the game ends. I have no idea. So I'm looking forward to playing that and seeing how everything wraps up. Okay. I'm going to get a snack and then try and get some sleep. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for tuning in to, either tonight or any of the past 54 streams of Zelda. It's been nice to have you there. And I hope that you will try and join us next Friday for the finale of Tears of the Kingdom. Let's be back tomorrow, shall we?